There are things I need of you, things you may not understand, and may. Jesus Christ. Go away, G-Force. Okay, and may not wish to do so. But please, do not make the same mistake as I did. My father, Howard, deserted me before I was born. I could claim the loss of my mother, and the letter I received after the funeral blinded me to what I had to do. It would be a lie. Human nature sealed my downfall. My name is Philip. If we are lucky, then by the time you receive this, I will be dead. If fame frowns, we all perish. There's something daunting about, and haunting as well, about the beginning of Penumbra Overture. I don't know why. The music is phenomenal. Like the OST of Penumbra, much better than Amnesia. And the story as well. I think that the story of Penumbra was way better than the story of Amnesia. And just also just the picture, you know, the rain falling in the background. It's just something very interesting and daunting to start up Penumbra Overture. Even though I've played it, don't get it wrong. I've played Penumbra Overture a couple times. I've played Penumbra Black Plague a couple times. But still, to hear this music, to see this screen, brings back some memories, you know. Because there's some melancholy to it too, you know, some sadness. And haunting too. But anyway, welcome to Penumbra Overture. I'm gonna do a playthrough for Overture and Black Plague. Not Requiem because that one sucked. Anyway, let's start. It's normal. My story began in February year 2000.
For my part in this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made.
Oi, British!
Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it. So when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went, as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago, and so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world renowned for two things: physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland. It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever take. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat.
I don't think he took a commercial airplane, by the way. Okay. They don't land on a strip of ice. Right, finally we almost docked. I should better stole my gear. I might be far from home, but a chance I can still pick things up using netmods and take a closer look. Okay. Let me just check real quick if my video. Yeah, okay, it's centered. Because at the beginning the ratio was so off And the crew seemed friendly enough. Just in case I locked up my valuables. Pretty sure the keys in my inventory somewhere. Once I found it, okay, you know what? I don't really need to do all of this. Yeah, okay. It's a bit different though. Dearest Eric, just a quick note before you set sail and leave me once again. I've left you a little something to remember me by in the chest at the foot of your bed. I really don't know why you still have only one bed on board. Taking shift because of it is no way to get you a rest. But what does a fisherman's wife know of life at sea? I'll be praying every night for you to make the catch you need, so you can come home to me safely and soon. Please don't be gone for 5 weeks like last time. I know I might nag sometimes, but I love you, you know. I washed some of those overalls of yours. I know you get them covered in assorted fish parts in no time. But I still feel better knowing they've had a wash. Before I forget, the Hendricksons in the village asked me to see if you're coming by any trout, but I said they were mostly out of season. If you don't happen upon any, don't say anything. Store them well in ice, and I'll do something special with them to celebrate when you come home to me. Ship's captains deserve a little treatment once in a while. Take care, my love. Cheers, I'll drink to that. My flashlight. Yeah, okay. But that's just the virgin flashlight, you know. We soon get the chat. How's it called? I don't even know what it's called. I will forget what I said. There's something like that neon light thingy. Yeah, that thing. Glow stick. Yeah, okay. So this is the virgin flashlight and the chat glow stick. I want to get going before dark. As I stepped off the boat, setting out in the blizzard that formed around me, I had realized how utterly devoted I've been to the discovery of my father's past. I had no idea what to expect. Soon enough, my concerns were justified. I don't know whether I lost my orientation or my spirit first, but I lost feeling my extremity soon after. I knew hypothermia was sitting in and started to look for shelter. So-called anisot. Okay, a note. They said something about yeah, notes. No, different notes. To-do list. Wrong path. Okay. Animal in the distance. Probably a dog. Anyway, I need one of those turds. They kind of look bad, you know. Hold on. There might be a secret. They do have like these weird secret statues. I guess that's... Ow. Alright, I'll start to damage myself before I even get in. I mean like that. Okay, that is the wrong way. So the correct way. Okay, yeah. Now I can open it like that. Bit interesting. It doesn't feel like Amnesia interaction. Because in Amnesia, interaction is always in the center, right? So if you hold on to a door and you want to keep it open, you still feel that you're centered. But with Penumbra, you see that thing dragging along and you feel like it starts to become off-center, you know? Jeez, my head, I can't believe I fell that far and survived. I don't know, maybe I didn't. Yeah, well, F, you can't go back there anymore. That's your way out, it's gone. Okay, Chad, glow stick. Much better. I mean, it really stays dark when you use the flashlight, so the Chad glow stick is much better. What is this place? Could be over 50 years somebody has been. Hammer time. Right, so you can do hammer time. But you can't do that if you hold something in your hand. Right, okay. You know what, I should assign. Eventually you get your pickaxe, you know. Right. It's just a circle. I see. Oh, whatever then. This hatch is very solid. I can't open it by hand. Somebody wants to keep people out or in. Okay. I don't like these barrels at all. Right, so I need a stick for that. Flare. Could you do normal? Yeah? Okay. No. Steel rods. Yeah, I can't. Come on, do normal. Right, okay. Whatever I was descending into it was 100 feet below ground, protected by 2 solid metal hatches. Located in the mud Arctic wilderness, buried beneath the snow. I didn't know what to expect, but I made a feeling I haven't felt since I was a child. I never given much thought to it before, but I realized that our entire society is a network of safety nets, emergency services at the end of the phone line, our safety in the workplace, friends, family, lovers, all there. If something goes wrong, part of cavalry design structures to prevent all of the most mundane of emotions. Once again, I felt like I did when I was in school, surrounded by a close ring of older kids, knowing anyone might help me. Friends, okay, well, whatever. They are now too far away. The entrance has caved in. That sucks. There must be anything. There could be anything living down here. Heroics, from Hollywood actors, and fairy tales. I've not taken any chances. If there's anything down here, I won't last a second. Caution stuff, I won't defenses. If anything hears me, I'll be every best off staying low and out of sight. Tell you whether or not it's a threat. Crouching by okay, well, whatever. Crouching, right. Right, yeah, like this. Let's go to the office first. I think it was this way. Okay. An old man clutching something unseen. He's strange, yet he's no stranger. Never seen before. Still, I know this man before me is Howard. I call him Father. Father. Right, okay. Small key. Copenhagen Post. Psychotropic deposit at the bottom of Death Mine. Researchers at the University of Copenhagen have suggested mind-altering chemicals naturally sewn into the rock may be cause of high suicide rates at a Greenland mine. So, the university, which has recently been conducting studies in isolated communities, first became interested in the workers of the northwestern lead mine last year. They discovered that even taking into account Greenland's naturally high suicide rate, local figures for the last 100 years were abnormally high, at 46 deaths per 100,000 populace, compared to the national average of 29. On further investigation, experts diagnosed in many of the minor symptoms in common with the early stages of paranoid schizophrenia. This has prompted researchers to hypothesize that the natural deposit of lysergic acid, a pH4 formula, recently discovered to have hallucinogenic properties, may be present in the rocks. Your locals were conducted to the interview, but those who agreed to speak had their own explanation. Inuit spirits known as the tuurngait live in the mountains. The university is awaiting results of chemical testing. Okay. The tuurngait. Mountains, huh? Does Greenland even have mountains? Like Antarctica is there's a reason why Antarctica is their own continent, because there's actual land mass under the ice. But not so much for Greenland. Fair enough, something I'll never use beef jerky by the way, but okay. I'm left to decompose. Locked. I do have a key, I think. Big book of explosives. Right, okay, so I'll eventually have to do it myself, but I'm not gonna narrate that all, because it's just for me to make a kaboom. Right, that's about it. I mean, with this you... Alright, okay. Ooh. Shh. Interesting. I only remembered a dog appearing on the other side of this place. I have a hammer, you know. I'm not afraid to use it. Smash your head in. But, you know, pickaxe is actually better this time. With combat. He's there. Right, let's go this way. Fair enough, there's nothing there. Yeah, like the storage, when you appeared from the storage. I always remembered that as being, you know, the first encounter with the dog. Not there. Interesting though. Okay. It's locked. Reams of wiring. Alright. You hear that? Lock from the other side. That does mean there's something still inside. I can hear chattering, thank God. Maybe we can get some answers. Why don't we? It was different, but the same that time. Like I had control, but over what? Looks like if there's a basement caved in some years ago. Something turned through you more recently though. Christ, what sort of creature makes these markings? There's a spider. I don't like spiders. Right, so I need this eventually. Let me just bring that back. There. I know that I've seen it happening. Okay. Mr. Doggy. A horrible sight, luckily it's mummified to us. The smell would have been awful. Right, so I came from there. There's nothing else here. Is there here to the left? No, here's the left. I think that's the left. Day 1. It has I begun this record and still I in the hope that the great work we have undertaken here might one day be scientific value. Despite the chaos of which has ensued in the 6 hours previous, my aim is to remain secure until what help there may be arrives, and that to that end I have barricaded myself into a small workshop area in an abandoned part of the mine. I hope that the meager food rations will keep me alive, that those I hide from will not jeopardize that. Perhaps the mine is already cursed. It's already precisely 30 years since that incident that brought us here, and now 30 years on, fate has struck again. Day 3. I forecast that today the rescuer's crew would arrive, but I can only hypothesize that they would be unaware of my location, hence busy themselves evacuating the other survivors. If they are not arrived by tomorrow, I will go out and search for them. Day 6. My first mistake was to make assumptions on the matter of the rescue. My second mistake was to make assumptions on the safety of this mine. My third mistake was to act on both of those assumptions in going outside of my safe haven. My best estimate is that I left the workshop where I was secured about 2 days ago in search of aid, and when I found only danger, I approached the old living quarters, but curiously could find no sign of life whatsoever. I returned in what I thought was the direction from which I had come, but soon found myself in an unfamiliar locale. Confused but focused, I attempted to make my way home. I found myself threatened by some species of feral creature, which seems to have made this old mine its home. Although the specimen bore significant interest to me, I chose to retreat, only to find myself outmaneuvered and outnumbered by the beasts. I turned and ran, injuring my ankle in the process, which I believe is now most likely a sprain rather than a fracture. For some time I cowered and fled into the dark, but a few hours ago I discovered the door leading to a smaller, disused part of the mine. The key for which I still had in the pocket. Within an area I discovered this storeroom, and I think it would keep me safe for some time. This place is a maze. Lesson learned, I will not venture out again until a certain area is safe. Day 19. Rescue seems increasingly unrealistic. The supplies diminishing. Lots of spiders in this plane. I don't like spiders. 34. I caught one of the accursed like beast nestling in my mouth open when I woke up this morning. To my surprise, I swallowed it. It's not much active swallowing which concerns me, but the genus of arachnid. It would be unlikely that the cave-dwelling spider would be venomous to any significant degree, but the possibility troubles me all the same. 35. Any known venom would have affected me by now, and so today is the first minor cause for celebration I have had since my incident. But local coincidence, this revelation also means that I have discovered a virtually inexhaustible supply of nutrition. I intend to venture into the basement beneath this storeroom in the name of science to discover more about this creature's natural habitat. 50. 4 days now I have been surviving solely off the quite considerable sustenance provided by the spiders. For some time I was struggling to get enough of the crunchy little morsels. However, Lady Luck smiled upon me once when the batteries of my torch died and I made second life-saving findings. The creature's natural habitat is the dark. If my light not diminished, I will need to lie still for a few minutes and I will have attracted enough of the beast for a rather hearty meal. Delicious, find some good food. Day 71. My early assumptions on the benign nature of my cellmates may be made in error. After careful autopsy, I concluded that there might be a small volume of natural chemicals stored in the stomach, which, ingested regularly over a period of time, might become psychotropic or even lethal. My only real chance is to break out of here and raid any station supplies I can find. However, the evidence against such a move is insurmountable. Having no thoughts of life, I swore myself I wouldn't leave until I hear human voices inside. The spiders are so tasty. Day 100. The marks I've been making on the walls and my scribbled diary entries, which in the dark may amount to an illegible scrawl. Today is the 100th day of my new life. Over the past month, my edible friends have become more and more aggressive, and I've swelled in number and size. Whether or not this is a result of my plundering the ecosystem, I'm unsure. However, at this rate of growth, they will soon be too large to crawl through the gaps in the walls. Though I know I could be seeing the tip of the iceberg. If all fails, I am never recovered. I hope at least that my study and indeed involvement with these fascinating creatures will one day be regarded as an important point in natural history. The great names in modern science got there through fluke than talent, and it appears that the rule has extended it to my discovery of this delicious new species. I only pray that the second rule is deemed to my break too insignificant for all great discoveries than to consume the inventor. Actions, okay. Right. Let's turn this bad boy off. Should be off now, okay. Fluid lighter gas, okay, great. I got me lighter. I think that's the old thing I got. Yeah. I can't wait for my pickaxe. Right, let's go. This way. And this way. I don't know why it's like something like that. Right, let me just... should be fine. I think someone has been dragged through. Yeah, I've never seen this much blood before. That was my best chance to get some answers. What else is still down here? That is a tongue. That's Monsieur Spider. There's nothing here. Day 200. It has been some time since I recorded any findings in relation to spiders with whom I shared my existence in the past 8 months. Partly due to my enforced retreat from the basement territory. Not long ago, their behavior became overtly aggressive, and so I have attempted to barricade the main entrance to their lair and secured myself within one of the smaller rooms above it, the only one with an operational door lock. The other reason is that I have been recovering from a minor operation which I was forced to conduct myself without the aid of anesthetics. Even if I had any anesthetical or surgical tools, I couldn't afford to be less than diligent with my work. So anesthetic was out. Surgical tools are all well and good, but although it may be become older and rusty, I still trust my pen knife to do the job just well. The procedure itself was elementary enough, a simple amputation of the non-vital organ. I began to notice a thick, glue-like substance forming on my tongue. I was forced to accept that it had become infected through constant toxin injection. 300. Another century of days come and goes. It seems like so long since I escaped here. At some stage since my last entry, I attempted to return from which I came. That from which I originally was fleeing seems a fate far worse than one I face now. However, in this time I have arrived from the larger mind system and cave has occurred, blocking any further progress. I was forced to return and accept whatever life has in store of me. I still hear my aggressive little friend scratching the door to my cell. What have we learned? Don't eat spiders. There are these dudes, you know, in the world that do that. Can you stop that? Alright. You know, I have the key now. Right, so now we all know what's gonna happen. Yay. He's there, believe me. Believe me, believe me. Right, so when I am perfectly still like this, I'm hidden. Just a little bugger. Yeah, okay, so there was only one encounter, I suppose. Oh, that was a pooper. Right, so... This one needs to go somewhere. I think it goes here. I love my workshop. It is too great a hunting ground for 2148. Okay, easy enough. 2148. A bugger sooner or later will get through, by the way. Wait, I might need this. I'm maybe not. Like, here is that thing. Yeah, okay, let me check the board again. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a lot of other things to do. This seems, yeah, this goes back to the center, on which the bug will be there still. Okay, so what was it again? Backwards, yeah, okay. 8, 4, 1, 2.